All right. It's Super Hang-On time. Since I plugged the mouse back up. We only need one stick for this anyway. Anyone out there in chat land that's listening, can you recommend a good 2-in-1 port gimmick for the Amiga? I remember reading about them, but now I really want one because I'm already sick of swapping this thing out. There we go. We didn't have a look at this, did we, Bo? Super Hang-On?
I've played this, I've done an Amigos plays of it, but we've never done it for an episode.
We should have put this in our Altered Beast. It could have, like, evened it out a little bit. The Altered Beast Golden Axe.
Wow.
I know, it's awesome.
You know the funny thing about Super Hang-On?
What's that, man?
Nothing. I hate this game.
What? He said it, folks. Address your hate mail to Brent.
I think what it was, I had a bad experience with this game in the arcade with the actual
One of the
bike.
sit-down gimmicks?
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm not good at them.
But did you hurt yourself or fall off or do something humiliating?
Well, I mean, I guess no more humiliating than me trying to ride a motorcycle. That's right, a motorcycle. Those are the worst kind of bikes.
We want joystick control.
Well, then you need to keep hitting. You clicked it on mouse.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I don't think I did.
You did.
What I meant to say is mouse control. No, I got it. I knew I wasn't insane.
The question in chat, Aaron,
Yeah.
Isn't it bad to swap out mouse controllers while the Amiga is on? I thought
nope.
it was a risk of blowing ports.
Well, I've done it for years and years. So I'm going to go on the assumption that it's not. That said, I mean, it's sort of like doing all that. I mean, I know a guy that blew out his joystick port, but he was doing something ludicrous.
Yeah.
He had built his own speech synthesizer and hooked it to his joystick port. It worked for about 15 seconds and then it blew it out. So I've always done it, but you know, what can I say? It would be nice to have a thing that just lets me automatically, you know, have them both hooked up. I know they've been out there for years. I've just been lazy and not bought one. Oh God, I read about a thing that a guy had that lets you use a PlayStation joystick, and you could actually use the analog port as your mouse, which is interesting. I'll tell you, I had a gimmick I was trying to get done for this show. It didn't happen, and I don't know if it'll work. But I'll tell you what it was. I haven't told Bo because I was trying to be all secretive and cool, but much like my playing here, uncool. Yeah. Here, you want to try it? Yep. So, there's not much slack. So, my plan was, y'all. I found a guy. There's a how'd you get it? There's a website called RalphNet. RalphNet, I think it's .com. RAPFETNET. I don't know. I'll link it up. But anyway, this guy sells the most bonkers joystick adapters you've ever seen. Okay. And one of the things he sold was a Super Nintendo controller to Amiga/Commodore adapter. Intriguing, right? So, I was fixing to buy one of these things, and I thought, you know, they also sell a Genesis/Mega Drive to Super Nintendo controller. That should work on the Amiga, so I'll cheat the system. That was my plan. Well, guess what? Plan failed. It didn't work on the Amiga.
Hey, John.
Yep.
Would you mind
And so,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
so I go ahead, dude. Just kind of launch yourself over me in like a leaping fashion. So anyway, but get this, Boat and John. Here's the jut of this thing. So here's my plan. Okay. So incoming in the mail, it probably will show up today because that's my luck. It's coming from Canada. Is a Super Nintendo to Amiga/Commodore adapter. Okay. So with this adapter, you can use your Super Nintendo controller on the Amiga. Okay. So, but here's the real reason I bought it. I went out and got one of those 8-bit Super Nintendo Bluetooth adapters. All right, and my plan is to hook this up and use my PlayStation 4 wireless Bluetooth stick on the Amiga. It's a dream scenario because it's wireless, right? I want a wireless joystick. And now, granted, I won't use it for all games. Like, for example, summer games comes to mind. But it would be nice to have a wireless choice, you know? And so, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, this is crazy talk. There's no way that's going to work. When I had the, I noticed when I had the Genesis adapter hooked up to the Amiga, while it didn't work, I was able to hook this 8-bit wireless Bluetooth adapter to it and sync it to my controller. A very good sign.
So you're like 90% of the way there.
That's right. I think it's going to work. And I've not, and you know, everyone's tried everything on the internet, and I've not read anyone say anything about ever trying this wacky thing. And I think this website's fairly obscure. I mean, there are videos on YouTube, but they're all videos about people buying GameCube and N64 adapters. No one's done anything with these Commodore/Amiga adapter. Also, Boat, it's supposed to work on the Atari as well, the same one. So, theoretically, you could play Atari 2600 or Atari computer games on your wireless Nintendo Wii controller, for example.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm all about that. So when is this going to come in?
it should be in any day. I reordered it Sunday. My goal is to have one joystick to rule them all, and I've decided that's going to be the PlayStation 4 Bluetooth controller.
John, are you mic'd up? You need to put that mic on your shirt.
Hey, give John a go, Brent. He's within arm's reach.
Up is go fast. Button, in theory, is nitro.
That's supposed to be break.
Yes, or at least it's less accelerate.
Oh, there's the button. Wow, this thing's pretty interesting.
Let's get some food.
I think on next go, Aaron, I'm going to have you turn that sensitivity to high.
Right on, man. Turn it to high, you say?
Yeah, because it doesnn't seem like... Well, yeah, I mean, when you can see the frames of animation for the turn, that's usually a bad sign. Also, I think the motocross committee needs to check your opponent's bikes, because they jet out of that opening start pretty good.
You know, I'll tell you something. This is one of the first games I got for the Amiga. All right, I'm not sure what year this was released, but I'm guessing it's a fairly early title. But it's one of the first games I personally played on it, and I remember being blown away about how good it looked. I mean, I was really impressed. You know, I thought it played pretty well to the arcade, and I thought it looked pretty good at the arcade. And when I played it back in the day, I was actually a decent hand at it, and I couldn't beat the game, but I could get pretty far on it.
With the exception of San Francisco Rush, the arcade version, I guess in the N64 version as well, I'm pretty abysmal at racing games.
What about Daytona?
I'm pretty good at Daytona too, but only the advanced track.
Man, crept around that corner. It's better than hitting a rock, right?
Oh,
Man, that guy looked like he was out to get you, like road rash style.
I'm afraid this has that real speech on it. I hit a tree.
Yeah, you can see how the evolution for Sega, that's how these games evolved up through this and up to Outrun and all, you know, and you can see why.
88 was when this was released.
Yeah,
Ran out of time, huh?
go again, man. You can see how like they ruled arcade racers. I mean, they had the experience. They went through it all. I wouldn't be surprised if the same batch of guys worked on a lot of these games, and they had better hardware. They knew how to simulate the speed, you know, and they moved their way up. Because I mean, most of the widely regarded arcade simulators of racing are Sega. You know, I mean, I'm thinking, they're not all. Like Namco's got their hat in the game, and Atari had theirs.
Well, especially if you look at this time period, like 85 to 90, it was pretty much all Sega. Between this and Outrun.
Well, when did
Like 96. No, 92.
what are you talking about?
Cruising? Is that what
No,
you're
I wasn't
asking?
thinking about cruising. I was thinking about I was trying to think about when the Remember that Namco? Those Namco racers we had, Brent. That Namco had some games that were out. I'm trying to think.
Lap 2.
I was trying to think when. Final Lap 2 and those games, they were out in the 80s, weren't they? Or the early 90s.
Probably early 90s.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to pick, I know what you're going to say, but I'll ask John and John here. What would you say your all-time favorite arcade racer is?
San Francisco.
I know
Rush,
you're. I knew you were going to
without
say
any
that.
question.
What about you,
All
John?
right, I want to fire it back up. Change that sensitivity to high.
What do you think your
Aaron.
favorite arcade? I think you have to do it, don't you? Oh, okay, I'll do it.
So I'm not sure what it is. I thought maybe it was Road Blasters, but it was one I played when I was younger.
Yeah.
Where you ran over red and green bubbles to get gas.
That's Road Blasters.
Road Blasters.
We've
We
owned
used to
2 of
own
those.
that.
I
We've
didn't
owned
get
it
far enough
twice.
through it, yeah.
It's a great game. It was fun to own too, wasn't it, Brent? We played a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Do we play all the way through that at any point?
Whoa! Looks like it didn't like high sensitivity.
Wow. Let me tell you something.
Move. Tell me when this says the next number.
5.
All right. We're moving on. When they glitch like that, it's time to move on. Or turn off the flaming computer.
Yeah, another vote for Daytona for their favorite arcade racer. Yeah, I agree.
That
Well,
mod
I don't agree, but I think it's way up there.
What's that?
That mod that I made for my keyboard, I put
Yeah.
a little switch right underneath the GoTech a
Oh.
micro switch so
Yeah.
I could take it offline and back on. Because it's a continuous read. It reads the disc, whether it's reading the data or not. It just spins all the time.
Oh man, yeah. Just like a regular